Okay, welcome to the call, everybody. I'm really, really excited about tonight's call. This has been something really, really exciting has happened in the last few months, and we've seen a lot of new people come on board who are wanting to share the oils and help other people learn about them, which is really, really exciting. So I wanted to create this group and these calls to support you guys who are all in a similar position. So you're all pretty much at the start. This means that you've either only taught a couple of classes. Maybe you've had me, from doing Diamond Club. Maybe you've had me there doing classes with you, or maybe you've just decided, hey, I'd really like to do this myself. So the good thing about having a group like this is it just means that everybody is in a really similar point in their business. So I guess the reason I remind you of that is because I want you all to know that there is no silly questions. There is no silly feelings about how you're feeling about it all, hesitations, doubts, fears, excitement. You can have a whole mix of them all. And that's really, really normal. So in these calls that we'll do and in the group, the Facebook group that we've created, you will get out of it what you put into it. So I'll just repeat that again just so it's really not lost. You will get out of it what you put into it. Same as your business. You will get out of it what you put into it. So I really encourage you to be active in that group, to ask questions, to comment. And if for no other reason than just throwing yourself all in and participating, be it for the reason that it gives me some feedback as to who's actually listening and what you guys are getting out of it. Because I guess that's the hard thing about doing these things online is that I'm a fairly intuitive person. When I'm in a room with people, I can pick up on what's needed and things like that. In a room, especially when I can't see anyone's faces on a screen, I find it really, really hard to know if I'm hitting the mark, if I'm meeting your needs. And this is what this group is all about, and these calls are all about meeting you guys where you guys are at. And so I'd really love for that feedback in the calls that we do, but also in the group as well. All right, so first up, and I am recording this call because I know that there's a few people that can't make it live on the call tonight. So I wanted to share with you a little bit about my background and who I am for those of you who may not know me. I think the people, Nikki, I feel like I know you because we've worked together, we've spoken on the phone, but everybody else I've met in person. But a lot of the girls that are in the group I haven't met yet, so I just thought it might be beneficial for everyone just to find out a little bit more about me and my background, where I come from, and what my vision is for doTERRA, I guess. So hi, I'm Carla. So my background is direct sales. I have been in direct sales for over 5 years. And I started, I think it was 2012, the end of 2012. I started my first business with a different company. And my whole reason for getting involved with that was because it was similar to doTERRA in that it was coming from a place of educating people about how to detox their homes and get rid of chemicals and live more of a holistic, natural, green kind of lifestyle. So I loved the education and the inspiration behind all of that. And I was quite successful in that other company. I built up a team and I became a team leader in that company, and I also went on lots of incentive trips. And in the last few years I was on a group called the Advisory Council, and this was a group there were 6 other team leaders from all around Australia. It was an Australian company. And so I was one of those 6 team leaders that our job was to communicate and converse with and feedback to corporate what was happening out on the ground and all of that sort of stuff. So it was really, really exciting. I absolutely loved it. And it was there that I really developed my deep passion for the direct sales industry. And the potential for it all. I saw a huge shift in myself. What I learnt on a personal development scale was absolutely massive, and it really shifted a lot of stuff for me, and it made me think about the choices that I make and the role model that I want to be to my children. I love this industry for that. But it was a hard slog with the other company. It was a very, very different compensation plan and a different setup to what we have here at the amazing doTERRA. And I always felt really stressed. I felt that there was a lot of pressure, not necessarily from the company, but on myself to keep going and to keep up with standards. And I couldn't see there to be a possibility to have residual income with this. You know, my husband and I had talked about taking long service leave and taking a couple of months away and being overseas and taking the children and volunteering somewhere. And I just couldn't see how that could work with the other company, because there were, you know, personal targets that I had to meet to remain an active distributor. So it was really, really challenging. And then I guess I started looking for different options out there, and I kept hearing about doTERRA, and I kept hearing about these amazing leaders, like at the time, Jessie Reimers, who is the youngest ever person in doTERRA across the world to hit the rank of Presidential Diamond. She had just ranked Presidential Diamond around the time that I was looking at what doTERRA was doing. And it was baffling. It was mind-boggling to me just how amazing this life was. And I could see that they were traveling a lot. I could see that they were spending so much time with their families, and I could see this beautiful balance that I'd been trying to create for me and my family for 5 years. And I'm just like, that's where I want to be. That's actually what I want to be doing. And even better, I guess, was it's not just about creating that, but the beauty of it was that I had actually been using doTERRA essential oils for about 4 years, maybe less, maybe 3 years. And so I loved the oils. But for me, coming from that background of, in my other business, wanting to help people detox their homes, wanting to help them live more holistically and green, it came with this beautiful, like, doTERRA fit that perfectly. So I stumbled across this beautiful person called Kim Reed. Now, Kim, I just saw online, and she had shared her story of, at the time, she was a blue diamond leader, so the second top rank in doTERRA. And she'd got to that rank in, I think it was about 2 years, 2.5 years. Oh, mate, yeah, not even 2.5 years. It was about 2 years that she got up to the rank of blue diamond. And in that time, she'd taken 6 months off to travel around Australia with her family in their caravan, but still maintained and still was able to build this business online and traveling at the same time and spend time with her family. The other thing that really caught my attention about Kim was that she was a mum. She had 3 children like myself, and she also lived in country Victoria. So I guess that for me blew those doubts and those questions out of my mind as to that you have to live in a big city and be connected to a whole heap of people so you don't saturate a market. And so she's from Sale in Victoria, and I'm just like, well, Sale, I don't know how big Sale is, but I reckon it's smaller than Warrnambool. If she can do that, I can do that from southwest Victoria in little country old dairy farming Warrnambool. So I reached out to Kim and I said, hey, tell me how you did it. I want to know how. So that's when I started my doTERRA journey, and I'm so glad that I did. So just to share a little bit with you about what my doTERRA journey has been since then. So I actually did my first class. It was towards the end of July. So I'm almost coming up to, it was about this time of year that I was getting ready to do my first ever class. So pretty much in the same situation as most of you guys here on the call right now. Yeah. Oh my God, that's really exciting. So end of July, I did my first class. And I did 2 classes. That's all I could squeeze in. And I guess looking back, I wasn't sure whether I should start in July or whether I should wait until August to start, because I was actually having 2 weeks away. I was going overseas for a pre-booked, it was actually an incentive trip with the other company that I was working with, but I wasn't going to miss out on that. So I thought, do I start before that incentive trip, or do I start when I get back and just kick off, rather than have this sort of disjointed start? But to be honest with you, I couldn't wait to start. I couldn't wait to get out there, and I just thought, you know what, it's just better just to get the ball rolling, have one under my belt, and then I can see how that felt. And, while I'm on this trip, I'll just have a reflect on that, etc. And so I did these 2 classes, and they were quite big classes. So I actually managed to hit the rank of elite in my first 10 days. Now, for those of you who don't know what the rank of elite is, I really encourage you to go back and watch the video that I've posted about the compensation plan and the different ranks. But essentially, elite is the first major rank that those of you who are starting a business and wanting to share the oils, wanting to help other people learn about them, that's the first major rank that people aim for, is to hit elite. So I was really, really stoked that I was able to hit that rank in my first 10 days. So in my first month, I was elite. The next month, I came back and I think it was 10 days that I was away for. So I had the rest of the month to still keep working and enrolling people, teaching classes, doing one-on-ones. And by the end of my second month, I hit the next rank, which is Premier. So Premier, for those of you who don't know, is an overall volume of 5,000 with at least 2,000 in 2 legs. So I was Premier by the end of my second month. By the third, so then, I think that's right. So then elite, Premier, I was Premier for another month. Let me just think about this for a moment. Actually, no, I can't really remember my story so well. So I was silver the next month. That's right. So July, August, September. Yes. So I went elite in my first month, Premier in my second month. By the end of my third month, I was silver. So silver is the first major leadership rank, and that's where you have 3 teams, 3 legs of 3 elites. So 1 elite in each leg, doing 3,000 in each of your elite legs, so total volume of 6,000. So I was silver by September. So then I was silver again. I maintained silver in October, and then in November I double rank advanced from silver. I skipped gold and hit platinum, which was a pretty big deal. I remember thinking at the time, oh my goodness, I know I talked about it with Kim. I said I wanted to get platinum by the end of the year. And she said, yep, you can totally do that. Let's do it. And I still, at the start of October and November, I'm just like, yeah, I don't know how this is going to happen. I think even in the last week, or even in the final few days of November, I was just like, I don't know how I'm going to become this platinum leader, but it happened. So I guess I share that with you because why do I share that with you? I share it with you because, not to brag, but to show you how it's possible. It's possible if where there's a will, there's a way. So if you want something, please reach out to me. Tell me that you want it, and I will happily break that down in little goals for you, so it's not like, oh, I want this, I don't know how I'm going to do it, but I just want it. We're actually we could break it down, so you just go, okay, well, this is how we do it, and this is how we get there. And that's exactly what I did with my upline, and that's how I managed to go elite, premier, silver, and then straight through to platinum. So in sharing that with you, though, that is quite quick. So to build to that leadership rank of premier in 4.5 months is a very, very fast time frame to get to that rank. So I don't by any means expect anyone to do the same, but I share it with you because I want you guys to know that I've done it. So if you want to do that, if you want to know how to build, even if it's not that fast, but if you want to know how to build to elite, how to build to silver, I can show you how to do that, because I've walked that path before, and you know, having 5+ years experience in this industry, I can show you how to do that. And it really comes down to it's not rocket science. All it comes down to is showing up every single day. When I say every single day, you do get days off, but like showing up in your business consistently. It's I think, you know, Kim said a lot in the Freedom Tribe, if you treat your business like a hobby, you'll get paid like a hobby. If you treat your business like a business, it'll pay you like a business. So having said that, there's nothing wrong with going at different paces and wanting different things from our business. And that's something that I'm really, really big on, especially coming from my previous experience with another company, where I felt like perhaps people weren't as accepted, just the model that it was, to have created different sort of, I guess, yeah, I can't think tonight, different sort of businesses, like whether it's big, whether it's small, whether you're out there doing lots of classes or not. One of the things I really, really love and value about doTERRA is this can be whatever you want it to be. And I want everybody in our team to know that that is definitely true. So that's one of the things that I think is really, really important from day one. And this is what we're going to get stuck into now. So if you've got a pen and paper there handy, please pick it up right now. So we're going to write some things down. So everybody came into this to build a doTERRA business for different things. Some of you, it's about creating a business, creating residual income for your family, freedom of your time. Some of you are really, really passionate about living a holistic lifestyle and helping others to do the same and really want to share that message. Some of you really, really love the oils and want to help other people learn about them. Some of you really need to have an extra income coming into your household to help ease that financial stress. There could be a whole bunch of reasons why you want to do this, but the thing that's going to get you up and keep you going every single day, remember how I said that you need to show up consistently in your business? The thing that's going to keep you showing up consistently is knowing why you are doing this. So I'm going to give you just a few seconds right now. I'm just going to zip it for a tick. I'd love for you to jot down on your piece of paper, or even in the comments section if you're on the call live, What's your why? Why doTERRA? Why have you chosen to take the step from, I just love the oils, they're so helpful for me and my family, to I love the oils, they're so helpful for me and my family, and I want to share this with other people. So give you a moment, please type in the comment section. Cool. Jess has written to have an income. So I'm going to ask you to flesh that out a little bit, Jess. Why is having an income so important to you? What does that mean to you? So you'll find that this process can be quite annoying, but I'm going to keep asking you and keep going back to you, but why? So peel that onion, layer after layer. Why? If your why is to have an income, why is having an income so important to you? I'm sick of struggling with cash. I want my life to be easier. Why do you want it to be easier? And thank you, Jess, for being the brave person to write in there. Nikki, Alex, Mel, if you can write too. Okay, Jess. So Jess has said, so I can pay my bills and get the things I want. Why? Why is it important for you to get the things that you want? What does that mean to you? What does that look like? How does that feel? Okay, so Jess said, I stress about money, so it'll make me feel happy. So if your stress is that you don't have enough money, that you need more money to take the pressure off, what does that actually mean for you and your family? If you're happy, what does that mean for you? What does that mean for your family? What does that actually look like? Does it mean that you guys can go on a holiday? Does it mean that you guys can, you know, give your children dancing lessons, guitar lessons, you know, travel for basketball tournaments or whatever the case may be without having to stress about it? Okay, so I'll let you sit with that for a tick, Jess. So normally during this process, when you strip the layers back and we ask why, and I ask you, like, we're not going to go through the whole process. This is your exercise to take home and do in your own time. Write it down and then ask yourself why. Why is that important to me? What does that look like? How would that feel like? Why? What is it about that that's so important? And then you'll answer that question and then ask yourself, but why? And ask yourself again. And eventually you'll feel in your body when you've peeled the onion right back and you've got to that part that's just like, oh, that's it. That's my why. And sometimes when it hits us so strongly, it can cause that emotional reaction. It can almost feel uncomfortable because of the thought of, wow, if I don't do this, that's what I can potentially miss out on. That's what I really want that I don't have right now, and it means the world to me, and that's my why. And sometimes there's tears, sometimes there's emotions, sometimes there's just like a real, like, you'll feel it in your body. So if you haven't had that feeling yet in your body of when you say, I want residual income, it excites me, why does it excite you? Strip it back, ask yourself, and wait. You'll know when you get that feeling in your body that that is your why. Just reading yours, Alex. I have chosen to take the next step with doTERRA as I've experienced firsthand the amazing benefits of these oils, and it only makes sense to share them with other people I love and care about most and everyone else I encounter in my life. I myself have been on a lifelong journey for a more natural, low-tox, holistic, and these oils fit right into that. I have embarked on a whole lifestyle change 3 months ago, including diet. And that shift in diet has really trickled down into everything else. My passion is health and wellness, and these oils go hand in hand with everything I do and believe to be more holistic life. Awesome. So my question, Alex, would be, but why is it important to you to share that? Like, it's great that you've been on a journey, and I love, like, we've chatted about this a few weeks ago about your story and that journey that you've been on, especially in the last few months. And I got goosebumps listening to it because I could hear that passion in your voice and that realization for you of that's what you wanted to do. But why doTERRA? Because you could help people live holistically in other ways. So strip it back, strip it back, strip it back, strip it back. I'm just reading Jess's. So Jess, one of your things is about spending more time with your family, hanging out with your family, traveling, knowing that you won't be unemployed with minimal money. Beautiful. And you love the product, obviously. I don't think anyone could go very far in this industry without absolutely falling in love with the product that they're selling. So I don't think anyone's worried about that. So I'm going to ask you to do this exercise. So we've kind of given you a little taster, but I want you to go in your own quiet space. Give yourself 10, 15 minutes to really write this down. And just, you can even, depending on what kind of, how you do these processes, you can put pen to paper and just keep writing, keep writing, keep writing. And don't take your pen off the paper, just write whatever's on your mind about it. But just keep asking yourself, but why, but why, but why? And you'll know when you've got to the bottom of yours. And I'd love for you guys to share in the group what that process was like for you, how your why shifted. I'd really love to hear your initial why that you started with, what you thought was your why, and then when you stripped it back, you were just like, that's actually my why. Yes, that first why was a little part of it, but when I stripped it back, it was part of this massive thing. And the reason why it's so important and so powerful to really understand your why is because this is not going to be easy. I'm really, really transparent when it comes to life, anything. Like, people that know me know that I don't just, I don't lie, I don't sugarcoat anything. So I'm not going to sit here telling you that you're going to get rich really quickly and have this abundant lifestyle by doing very little. Because if that's what you're looking for, this is not the right avenue for you. But I do say that you will get what you want when you show up, and show up consistently in your business. This is not, excuse me. This is not by any stretch of the imagination a get rich quick scheme. It's quite a slow burn. you know, in those beginning ranks. So, but having said that though, the potential for it to have this beautiful, residual, abundant life in terms of finances, but also a freedom of our time that we can spend with our family is just beyond words amazing. So I guess I say that straight up to anyone who's starting, because sometimes, and I have done this myself, and I still every now and then I'm just like, oh my goodness, like I'm very, very impatient when it comes to you know, when I first started doTERRA, I didn't think, okay, I want to get to elite, I want to get to silver, I want to get to diamond. My eyes were on presidential diamond. That's where I want to be. And I'm really, I'm quite a driven person, so, but I can also be quite an impatient person as well. So even though I've worked up to the rank of platinum, which, you know, is an amazing rank and something that I'm very proud of and grateful for to have, but there's still that hunger within me, that there's that little bit that's not satisfied until I've hit my goal, which is the ultimate goal, is Prezi D. Because that's how I am. And you can be different. Like for you, it might be, I just want to get to gold, I just want to get to diamond, I just want to get to silver, whatever the case may be. Until you're there, if you're not getting the income that you need, or if you're not getting those boxes ticked to your vision, then it can be pointless and feel pointless. And you can start to question, is this worth it? But in those times, I just ask you, have that long-term vision in mind, because even if exec elite, premier, silver, gold, platinum, diamond, blue diamond, presidential diamond. So there's 9 ranks, right, from executive to presidential. If you were offered a job that said, okay, Mel, I've got a promotion for you, it's a new job, and I want you to do it. All you need to do is show up every week, every day, and do the do, regardless of the outcome. I just want you to show up, be consistent every single week. The first couple of years are going to be pretty, you know, mundane, and just it'll feel like you're just the mouse in the spinning wheel. But ultimately, after 9 years, I'm going to give you a promotion, one promotion each year, up a leadership rank, and by 9 years you'll be at the top job position of presidential diamond with the average income of $1.3 million. Would you do it? If someone offered you that job that said, I'll give you a promotion yearly, and after 9 years you'll be in the top position, earning an average income of $1.3 million, would you show up every single day in your business? Mel's just like, absolutely. Because guys, this is what you have right in front of you. Haven't had a pay rise in about 10 years. Mel, do you know that's why I left teaching? I resigned after teaching for 12 years. It wasn't very fun. But yeah, I feel your pain. And the beauty of it is that we actually get to give ourselves a pay rise. And that's something that I really love. I remember listening to a podcast of a lady that I saw in Las Vegas speak at a network marketing event that I went to in 2016. Her name's Gloria Mayfield Banks, and she's about as short as me, and but personality plus, like could stand on this big stage and oh my goodness, like amazing. And I remember her saying on this podcast that I was listening to one day that she'd studied to go to Harvard to do law and all of these sorts of things, and business school. That was the other thing she did. And and she finally got this position that she wanted, and then they said we want to give you a promotion next year, like this is what we'd really like to give you, and this is what you'll be earning. And that was the point for her that she just went, hang on a minute, someone's dictating to me how much I can earn. And it was that point that she's just like, I don't think I can last, I don't think I can do it. And that's the beauty of it. And that's what she was saying, you know, this network marketing and what we have at doTERRA, this beautiful compensation plan that allows us to build this residual income, to have this life and this lifestyle with financial freedom. You know, it's just absolutely amazing. And I've made myself unemployable just from being in this industry for so long, because I just can't be boxed and just told this is how much I'm worth. I'm like, no, I'm so much more than that. You guys don't understand. So I think, does that make sense when I'm saying that it can be a slow burn at the start, but don't get fixated on those where you are now. Don't get stuck in that's all that there is. Have that long-term vision of, you know, exactly that scenario. If you got to and that's the thing, like, this is your business. You can work this as slow or as fast as you like. That's what I love about doTERRA. There is no expectation on you having to enroll a certain amount of people, teach a certain number of classes a month or a week. It's totally up to you. Having said that, the results come in as quickly as you're willing to work. And I guess that for me, that was one of my motivating reasons for really throwing myself all in, because I wanted to skip through as much of the first little bit where I was in the spinning wheel, feeling like I was doing all this work and not getting very much pay. And I wanted to start actually having that, you know, the money's coming in. And I guess for me, the realization that I have that was when I was in Bali last month. You know, for those of you who don't know, I had a 17 days away, and you know, that was the most I've ever taken out when I've been self-employed and had my own business. This was the first time I'd ever taken time out since building a business with doTERRA, and it was our biggest month and easiest month as a team that we'd ever had. So I reckon I'm going to go to Bali for the first 2 weeks of every month, because that just worked really, really well. But, you know, it just goes to show that that's the potential, and it's only going to get better and more expansive from there. So, all right. So having said that, everybody has their own lives. Everyone has their own circumstances. So some people who are in this group work full-time. Some of you work 3-4 days a week. Some of you don't work. You just do, you know, you stay-at-home mum. Some of you have heaps and heaps of commitments outside of, you know, work as well. So the amount of time that you want to give to your business is going to be different for every single person. Disclaimer, and something that I really want everyone to hear, just because I'm talking about people having full-time work or part-time work or lots of other commitments, please don't confuse me by thinking that I mean that if you work full-time, you don't have as much time to give to your doTERRA business. Because something that I've come to learn is that we give time to what we value most. Everybody has the same amount of time in every single day. And yes, our commitments are different, but it comes down to, has anyone heard the saying, 80% of the 20% of the people do 80% of the work. Yeah. Or ask if you want something done, ask a busy person. Yeah. So it's the same kind of thing. Like I've seen mentoring women in this business, in this industry for over 5 years. I've seen people with what I think looks like a shit ton of time that they could be working their business, and they choose not to. They choose to watch Netflix at night. They choose to sit on the couch and scroll through Facebook. They choose to do lots of other things. And then I've also seen people that work 3 jobs, have 4 children with high levels of sporting commitments that they drive them around interstate and all around the state. And I've seen them build very, very successful businesses because they choose to work in the pockets of time that they have, rather than being free and easy and just going, I didn't get it done today. They just go, I've got 10 minutes here. I'm going to follow up that person and give them a call. So your life is what you make it, regardless of whether you work full-time, part-time, whatever your commitments are. I know this to be true because I've seen it time and time again. If you choose to commit to your business, you'll see it grow. You'll see that come through. So because we all, and just because you do have extra time or not enough time or whatever, it feels like I'm talking around in circles here. Probably because I am. But I guess I say this to you because I want you to open up your mind to that there possibly is more time that you have available than what you're letting yourself believe. But at the same time, I want you to know in your heart, what is this that you want? How much time do you want to commit to that? And don't get distracted. Put the blinkers on. Don't get distracted from other people. And, they started at a similar time to me and they're already elite, or, they've already had done this many enrollments or whatever. I see that is probably one of the biggest downfalls in people's growth in this business, is that they get distracted by what others are doing, when they should rather just stay in their own lane and just keep concentrating on what they want to do and how they want to build their business. Because at the end of the day, whose business is this? It's yours. So you get to choose. So don't get distracted by others. You decide what this is to you. And that looks so different to lots of people. For some people that I've spoken to in our doTERRA team, some people that is, they want to work and teach maybe 3 classes a week. Some of you want to teach 2 classes a month. It doesn't actually matter. And I'm happy for both. I really am. But the thing that makes me just go, oh, is when you guys aren't showing up for yourselves. And that's when you get disappointed, because you said, I'm going to teach 2 classes. And what did you do about teaching 2 classes? So make a commitment to yourself. What do I want to do? And then just make it happen. Yeah. All right. So in saying that, in the last 10, 15 minutes of this call, you've got some homework to do. Oh, yeah. All right. Who here on the call tonight has written their 100 to 200 names list? I want to see in the comments, yay or nay. Jess said not quite 100. Mel said nay. Love your honesty, Mel. Nikki said more like a 50s list. Okay. So if you're not sure, Jess said I don't have 100 friends. You don't have to have 100 friends. if I was to look up, Jess, on your Facebook page right now, how many friends do you have on Facebook? Moment of truth. I can guarantee it'll be more than 100. Which means, guess what? Got more than they are couples. I don't care. You've still got more than 100 people that you can reach out to just going by your Facebook page. So this is your homework if you choose to accept it. Write your 100s names list. If this is something you've been avoiding, Mel baby, I'm just wondering why. I can relate to that. I definitely avoided it for a while, and then I did it, and I'm just like, why the heck did I put that off? I don't know why that was so hard. Mel says you're lazy. You're lazy, Mel. Oh, you're not lazy. You're not. You're actually a very hard worker. I've seen you. So here's some tips. So if you don't know what the 100s names list is, go back, and this is a really simple exercise that you can do. I like to do it as a timeline across your life. Sorry, I got put off by Jess's comment. Seems like a gay idea, but I've done it. I love Jess's phrasing. Oh dear. All right. So yeah, I get that. I reckon it sounds like a gay idea as well, but I did it. So let's go back to it as a timeline. So, and when I say 100 names, this is not, okay, now that you've written these names down, you have to contact each of them and say, you need oils. It's not about that. It's about actually just a brainstorming activity to get names on a paper, because when you actually write down somebody's name, it can trigger them, oh, and that person had a friend that I used to do dancing with when I was 11. I'll write her down. Whatever the case may be. So timeline of your life. Start when you were born. Write down who were the people that came to visit you in hospital. Obviously, you won't remember personally them visiting you, but you will know who would have come to visit you. Write down their names. Who, if you got baptized, who was there? Who, family members. Who was at your first birthday party? Who did you go to kinder with? I was watching first episode of Tara's Biz Camp earlier, and there's a slide with groups of people to jog your memory. Yes, please put that in the Facebook group. That would be amazing. And just go through your life. Who was my friends that I hung out with in grade 1, grade 2, grade 3, grade 4? What extra activities did I do outside of school? Who can I remember from those? And you might even have their last name. You might have lost touch with them completely. That's okay. Keep that pen on the paper and keep writing down those names. And then go through your phone. Pick up your phone and go through all your contacts in your phone. Write those names down. And I'm talking about everybody that you do business with. Your hairdresser, your beautician, your chiropractor, your naturopath, your other naturopath that you used to go to but she moved out of town, whoever, whatever the case may be. Go through all of those. Do not edit the names list. Do not screen and filter and leave people off. There's a reason for that, and I'll get to that in a minute. So write down every single name that you've got, then go through your Facebook page. Write down all the people that you're connected to on Facebook. If you do that exercise and you cannot come up with 100 names, I will take my clothes off and do the next Zoom call in the nude. I don't think that's a prize actually, but I'm sure it would egg you on just to see me embarrass myself. No, I will not do that. But challenge accepted. Oh, wow. No, but seriously, like I've never ever done this exercise with anybody and they've come back and they're like, I could only think of 67. It's just not possible. So I challenge you to do that. And maybe the challenge is if you don't get 100 names, then you do the next Zoom call naked. I think that's the stakes are higher that way. Yes. All right. So names list. Now there's a couple of reasons why we do this names list. One is because it helps jog our memories as to, you know, different people that we've come across in our life, which is always awesome. And when I first started reaching out to people, I reached out to about 30 or 40 people to come to my house to do 2 classes that I was doing. And in that there were some that couldn't make it, but I also then put on Facebook and said, you know, I'm just starting this. And I was really surprised with who messaged me back and said, oh, Carla, I really want to come. And I'm just like, Sharona from high school that I haven't spoken to in 5 years, you want to come to my house? Sure. You know, she wouldn't have been someone, if I had have looked at my list, that I would have just gone, I'm going to reach out to Sharona from high school. But I put it out there and it's just amazing what happens. So the other thing too that's important about having a long list, to get classes and to book in classes, you're going to have to reach out to people. Yeah. Now, if your list is 10 people long and the first 2 people say, no, thanks anyway, Nikki, but I'm really not interested in your weird oils, that will be disheartening, because you will look at that list and just go, oh goodness, I've only got 8 more people to go and those first 2 said no. And that's where the energy shift changes. It becomes a little fearful and it can become scary, and that fear of rejection really can take hold quite quickly and easily. However, if you had a list of 100 names and you reached out to the first 2 people on that list and they said, thanks, Nikki, but I don't want anything to do with your weird oils, how differently would you feel if you still had 98 people to contact? So this is about expansion and abundance and opening up to the possibilities. So that's why I ask you to write 100 names down on your list, because to avoid that feeling of, oh God. So the more names that you have on that list, the less that you will worry about people saying no. And straight up, guys, there's going to be people that say no. Get used to that. And that's no reflection on essential oils, no reflection on doTERRA, and it's no reflection on you. It's quite simply at that point in time, that person doesn't know what they're missing. Now, I've had people say no, and then 6 months later, 2 weeks later, come back to me and say, actually, I think I need those oils. So most of the time it's not a no, not ever. It's just a no, not now. So if we can have that sort of approach and that okayness around a no, and we don't take it personally, then that's going to help us move forward as well. So I'd really love a show of hands. Come on the screen, Jess and Alex, or if you're not on the screen, pop in the comments. I'd really love a show of hands. Who is committed to writing a 100 names list in the next 24 to 48 hours? Yeah, you are. Yes. Mel, Nikki, Alex. Jess has gone AWOL. Oh, no, she says yes. That's awesome. That is 4 out of 4 on the call today. So that is epic. So pop in the group. Once you have done that, I said in the next 24 to 48 hours, I want to see, I'm going to be your accountability buddy. Hi, how are you? I'm your accountability buddy. And I want to know when you've written that. Yeah, so pop in the group. Hey, Carla, guess what? I'll be turning up to the Zoom call with clothes on because I wrote my names list. All right, that's awesome. So that is homework task number 1. Last but not least is, and this is going to be, we're going to talk about this in 2 different ways because there's 2 groups of people in here. I want you guys to set a launch date for those of you who have not yet taught your own class. For those of you who have taught a couple of classes or are trying to get classes, I want you to think about what are your dates that you're going to offer classes, or how many classes are you committed to making happen this month in July. So for those of you who aren't just launching, so I'm speaking more to Nikki and Mel at the minute and Jess, I know for me that there's been times where it's been frustrating where I haven't had a host or someone to say, yeah, come around to my house, Carla, I'll bring the girls around and you can come and teach a class for them. So in those weeks, I've actually just put a class on at my house, and some of them have been within 2 days' notice. And I can relate to you, Mel. I think you said that you're a little antisocial. I definitely feel like that. You probably don't believe that because I can seem quite extroverted on the outside. I describe myself as an introverted extrovert. Putting myself out there in front of people is crazy for me, and especially having people in my home, it's way out of my comfort zone. I get a lot of anxiety about it. But I know I could tell myself every excuse in the book that I don't have enough time to promote it and reach out to people to come to my class in 2 days' time, or I don't have enough time to get things ready. And, probably no one will turn up anyway because they're already busy, or it's too little notice for anyone to be able to commit. But I also know, I think the thing that gets me over the line in those moments is, well, do you know what, Carla? If I don't offer it out there, I can guarantee I'm going to be in exactly the same position as I am now in 2 days' time, with no new enrollments, having taught no new people. Whereas if I just throw it out there, I've tried, and the last one I did was last weekend, not the weekend just gone, but the weekend before. I had 4 people show up, which I thought was really great. I was really happy with that. One of them had already enrolled, and she brought a friend with her, and 2 were new. And 2 of them got the Home Essentials kit. One's saving up to get a kit in a couple of weeks, and I booked 2 classes. And I would have missed out on those opportunities, not just having the class, but the opportunity, the whole thing, if I had have listened to that little voice in my head that said, no one will show up, it's too late to organise. Yeah. The other thing that putting a date out there is really powerful is that you will have people that will have something that's already organised and can't come. Guess what? That means that you now have some people that have said, yeah, I'd really be interested, and you've got them to follow up with. Awesome, I'm having another one next weekend, can you come? Yeah, so it's just moving forward, even if it's just inching forward. So for those of you who this is perhaps your launch month, you're wanting to do your first ever class this month or next, which is awesome, then commit to, what's that date going to be? What's that date of your very, very first class, and make it happen. So rather than just going, I'm going to learn, and then get a date organised, pick a date now and do the learning in between times. Yeah. There's a really, I think this is the best possible saying that you could live by when you're starting your own business, and it is start before you are ready. Start before you are ready. You will never ever know all that you need to know. And I think, you know, I looked into doTERRA for far too long before I took the plunge. And you know, coming up to a year that I've actually been teaching classes, and I still don't feel like I'm ready. But here I am, a platinum leader with a beautiful team of builders and sharers and customers of almost 600. I'm not ready, but you beautiful people have joined me for the ride, suckers. No, but you know what I mean. Like, that's, you're never ever going to be ready. So gift yourself the forgiveness and just go with it. We're all here to support one another. You know, you don't have to know everything, which is awesome. There's a whole team of people are here to support you. So set the date and just go. If it's 2 weeks time, then go for it. I think my launch class was less, or maybe it was a week, maybe a bit less than a week from when I decided, yeah, that's it, I'm doing it. And it was the next week that I was teaching it. Oh, shit. But, you know, you learn best on your feet in this industry. It is unlike any other business where, or, you know, job really, where someone gives you a position, you have training and they ease you in. This is learn as you do. Learning in doing. Okay. All right. I'm happy. Look, I know that I've gone like 5 minutes over. If anyone needs to go, just let me know. But I'm happy to stick around for 2 minutes if anyone's got any questions about anything. But I might just stop the recording there for the moment. So thanks for joining us.